Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
I don't tolerate someone stealing from me, and I got their license plate and called the cops and plastered it all over media, and what else can I do?
The owner of a South Fargo business is trying to track down the man who stole from her store.
Jody Plessity tried to chase him down, but he got away. And now she's asking for your help in finding out who this guy is.
Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has her story.
They came in and just grabbed a bottle and proceeded to walk out the front door.
Jody Plessity is the owner of Lake Mode Liquors. And she says when she saw a man walking out of the store with a bottle of booze, without paying for it, instinct kicked in.
I went running out the other door to try to catch him when he got in the car, and I just went right up to the window and pounded on it.
But he wasn't alone. There were 4 men in the car, and they drove off.
Hindsight's 20/20 because they could have, pulled a gun on me, done something to me.
And the liquor they stole wasn't cheap.
It was a top shelf Knob Creek.
But now Jody is wondering what she needs to do to protect her store in the future.
Do I need a baseball bat? Do I need, what can I do? I have to protect my livelihood.
And she has a message for the culprits.
I'll do whatever I need to do.
In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Plessity posted the surveillance video on the store's Facebook page. We put it on our website as well, valleynewslive.com. She's hoping someone will recognize the men involved. There were 4 black males in a 4-door white car. It has North Dakota license plates 058BCD. She says the vehicle had an upside-down license plate.
No storms tonight, but they're not too far away. Hutch, most of tomorrow looking good?
Well, tomorrow is going to be hit and miss as we head to bed tonight. Out to the west, we have a couple of thunderstorms rumbling out there. One heading towards Winnipeg, not really a factor for most of our viewing area. One between Minot and Bismarck is heading in our general direction, but falling apart. A few sprinkles in Lakes Country. Your hour-by-hour forecast for the overnight hours shows temperatures slipping down into the 50s east, staying in the 60s, though, for many in the Southern Valley and parts of west central Minnesota. So a quiet overnight. Now tomorrow, not quiet, Andrea, as you were asking about that. Thunderstorms developing out west will head our way as we go through the nighttime hours. Some of us will be pretty late, but there'll still be a risk of some hail and some gusty straight-line winds. We'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast on how that all pans out here in just a moment.
So not looking so good.
A little hit and miss with thunder and lightning, yes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. Make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so that you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. All you need to do is search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.
Startling discovery at a home in Fergus Falls, Minnesota, when a man was taken to jail after he was found in the attic.
Joseph Norman is facing multiple charges, including first-degree burglary. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly spoke with neighbors about this unusual turn of events.
It's kind of happening everywhere these days.
An average day in this Fergus Falls neighborhood turned hectic when one homeowner got an unexpected visitor. Joseph Norman was taken into custody in Fergus Falls after multiple calls were made to police dispatch about possible theft on the 1400 block of Somerset Road.
It's not real uncommon for people to leave their doors unlocked, and so there is always the possibility that someone may walk in.
But that wasn't Norman's one and only pit stop on his journey. Rona Nitz, a resident on Somerset Road, said Norman made a visit to her doorstep.
All I know is what I saw here. He just came to the door and he wanted help.
In a community described as safe by its residents, many people were unaware of the events.
It's always concerning, when you hear that someone's been, had things stolen from them. It's going to be the first thing I talk to my husband about when he gets home.
Police would like to remind people to lock the doors of homes and cars, secure windows, and stay aware of their surroundings. In Fergus Falls, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
Norman awaits a first appearance in court with charges of first-degree burglary, misuse of the 911 system, motor vehicle theft, and driving after revocation.
No names have been released yet, but we are aware of a drug bust in Carrington, North Dakota. We're told that multiple homes were raided and those involved are suspected of being connected to a drug ring. Foster County authorities said that the drugs and drug paraphernalia were seized. There were several arrests and the evidence has been forwarded to the state's attorney's office for charges. Once the reports are filed, more information is expected.
A North Dakota man is facing a pair of felony charges after assaulting police officers who were serving a warrant on him during a street dance in Oaks, North Dakota over the weekend. A criminal complaint claims 25-year-old Derek Jones of Lisbon threw a beer at one officer and punched another when they tried to arrest him on a probation violation warrant out of Minnesota. Jones is in the process of standing trial in Ransom County, North Dakota, on allegations that he raped a 15-year-old girl last July and threatened to kill or harm the victim or her family if she told police.
Some mosquitoes tested positive for the West Nile virus in the Grand Forks area. Residents in the cities of Grand Forks and East Grand Forks are being urged to take extra precautions to avoid being bitten. The mosquito most common for transmitting the virus is most active just before sundown and throughout the night into the early morning hours. Mosquito Control says crews operate as if the virus is always present and therefore will not be making major changes to their daily operations.
Rescue crews are looking for a boater who's missing in Cass County, Minnesota. 2 people were thrown from a boat yesterday afternoon on Hay Lake. That's near the town of Pine River. Crews found the man who had been driving the boat and treated him for minor injuries. But searchers are still looking for a male passenger. The Lakes Area Dive Team and the DNR aircraft are part of that search.
Law enforcement are warning about the annual summer spike in door-to-door salesmen in the area. One Fargo woman posted her experience with the salesman on Nextdoor. We spoke with her neighbor who was also approached by the man. She says that she chose to ignore him and he walked away.
You're out here doing your yard work and it's a nice day and you don't want anybody coming around and trying to push you to buy stuff and then insult your neighbors.
Leach has a no solicitors sign on her door, but she says that they will still come up to her if she's in the yard. Authorities say if a salesman ever gets too pushy, call authorities right away.
Leaders in one city in Minnesota are doing what they can to stop overly aggressive door-to-door salesmen from coming to their homes. The Barnesville police chief tells us any people looking to sell things at residents' homes need to fill out an application for a permit. Once that application is filled out, it needs to be approved by the city. And Police Chief Dean Ernst tells us they do background checks on the applicant. Just this week, someone was denied by the city to get a selling permit.
They did have a history of aggressive sales tactics and also negative complaints, like through the Better Business Bureau. And also there was some paperwork that wasn't completely filled out.
The police chief tells us door-to-door salesmen are not very common in Barnesville. 2 SUVs that a lot of people buy performed so badly in recent crash tests, they received the worst rating. What you need to know later on Valley News Live at 10.
And a movement to divide California into 3 states, it's edging closer to reality.